Hello, everyone, and welcome to Education Checkup. I'm Johnette Magner. We're a weekly podcast here at KTVS, and we cover what is happening in K-12 and higher education in Northwest Louisiana. I'm joined today by my co-host, Dr. Philip Roseman, when he is not working as a cardiologist, which clearly he did today because he's in his scrubs. You'll find him working on education and many other issues throughout the state. He is the founder of the Alliance for Education, and he is currently serving as the chairman of the board for Better Louisiana.
That's right.
All right, welcome, Dr. Roseman, and please introduce our guest.
I will. Today we're going to start talking about choice in education, and there's a lot of that being talked about in our community, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk with Zach Craddock. Zach is the superintendent of all schools of Third Future Schools. I think you're well known in this area because you're going to be managing Fair Park, which you're doing now, and in the coming year, I believe, managing Linwood Charter School, which is a new change for this. And so we just wanted to talk a little bit about Third Future Schools, about what you do. And I know that you do a lot of turnaround.
Yes, sir.
Just tell us what that means.
Sure. Well, thank you for the time and the opportunity. I appreciate it. I'm Zach Craddock with Third Future Schools. Been with Third Future since the start. In 2017, we opened up our first campus in Aurora, Colorado. So we currently have 11 campuses across Colorado, Texas, and Louisiana. And so to kind of bring it to a summary, we partner with districts in all three states, districts, and state departments as well, to come in, partner with them, and turn around underperforming schools. However the state defines an underperforming school. We don't define that, the state does. And our mission and our vision is to turn around those schools and whatever the state accountability rankings are, and get them from an F to a D, get them out of watch within year one. And so we are we're finishing our second year of operations in Louisiana. So our first school here was Prescott K-8 Academy in Baton Rouge. And then last year we had the opportunity to partner with Craddock Parish for a Type 3 charter for Fair Park. We're finishing our first year there. And then next year we'll be adding 2 additional schools. We'll be working with East Baton Rouge Parish to take over an IDEA campus that they left. And so we're helping them. So they have 1,000 students and they have a school to go to. And then about 3 weeks ago, the Bessie board approved us to take over operations of Linwood K-8 Public School here in Shreveport under a Type 5 charter. So that's what I've been working on hard, staffing that school up and getting ready for a great opening August 4th.
Well, I have a quick question about charter schools. I think many people don't understand how they fit in the picture. A lot of people think charter is private and that you pay.
Good, that's a great statement. And it's not. They're public schools. Now, Louisiana is different than a lot of other states, and there's 5 different avenues for a charter school. So they have a Type 1 through 5. To really answer your question, they are not private schools. They are public schools. Now, some charter networks have different maybe entrance requirements. There shouldn't be, but maybe an entrance exam. Third Future, we accept all students. So we accept all students. We have no criteria for enrollment. We never have, we never will. Obviously, there is no cost to enroll. We get all the dollars associated from the state of Louisiana that those students operate, and that's how we run our schools. We have a fundamentally different instructional program, and then I raise money through philanthropic donations to supplement what we do in all of our schools.
Now, I know Cade Brumley, it speaks very highly of you, the state school superintendent. I think he was one of the ones that really got you involved, I think, in the state. What is it that he saw in you, and what attracted you to come to Louisiana?
Well, I mean, first the opportunity to serve. That's our number one goal. Is we really want to work in underperforming areas that have at-risk students. That's our mission. That's what we do. That's what we've always done. We've had opportunities to partner with districts in areas that, they really didn't need a turnaround specialist because students were reading on grade level and they were doing well. And so we had an opportunity to partner with Dr. Brumley and the DOE to support Prescott Academy, and we did, and the school did pretty well their first year academically. And so then that opportunity came to expand that partnership with the DOE and Caddo with Fair Park, and we're looking forward to getting really good results there. I'm confident we're going to get them out of F status this year in the first year, and I think it's our ability to get very quick academic outcomes. It's a relentless focus on instruction, and we really stay on point.
Yeah, just want to go over some of the core values, because I think some of your core values are the reason that you've been so successful. And you're humble when you talk about Prescott having improvement. You know, they had major improvement in their first year. I think Prescott in Baton Rouge was one of the lowest schools in the state.
They were the second from the bottom.
Yeah. And you went into Baton Rouge in a middle school, which has got to be difficult, just like it's got to be difficult to do a middle school only at Fair Park and to be able to make those turnarounds. So let me just go through the core values. You tell me how you do this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Students should reach the potential, have high expectations for students. What do you do to do that?
So we don't lower the standard. So supports increase based on student need, but we never lower the standard. So this is the bar. The state of Louisiana said this is proficient on the LEAP exam, and whatever students need to know and be able to do at each grade. We don't lower the standard. We increase the level of support.
Don't you remember George Bush had a saying, George W. Bush, something about the soft bigotry of lower standards, something like that.
I think I recall.
Yeah, that sometimes we set lower standards when in fact we should recognize that all children can achieve.
Right.
You increase the support, and that's what we do. Our staffing model is designed around that. Our whole entire network, our system, organization is designed around doing just that, closing the achievement gaps.
So do you have a lot more people working there? So because
somewhat,
because the schools, the models that they use that are successful at other schools just aren't working at this particular place. Are you finding different reasons as you work to turn them around, or
yes.
Is there really kind of a one formula that just works with everything?
We believe it's a formula. So we believe, and our staffing model is very different. So our instructional model never changes where we go. So how we educate students in grades K through 8, if you were to go visit Fair Park today, and I took you to Denver with me on Monday, you'd see the same thing. You would see the same thing. That instructional model, it focuses on two things: closing the achievement gap and teaching your 2035 competencies: critical thinking, problem solving, informational literacy. And we have a very tight training protocol for our teachers with a tremendous amount of support from administration and coaching, and that's how we're able to execute quickly and get results quickly.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm involved in Third Future Schools at Fair Park, and got a chance to come into the school and look around at what's going on in the classrooms. And it was a different kind of classroom than I've
yes,
seen
sir.
before. Tell us a little bit about how that works. It's a very active classroom, always moving. Kids are moving here and there. They're getting positive and negative feedbacks. Tell us a little bit of how you...
Sure. Yeah, so I mean, number one is it's going to be on grade level. Our direct instruction is going to be at grade level. Students across this country, the vast majority of students never experience grade level instruction. That's just, and it's not crazy. It's students are all over an ability scale, and most teachers teach just below to try and reach most kids. But then that standard's been lowered. Mm-hmm. So we teach at grade level, and really what we try and do is I use a lot of sports analogies because I used to coach and played sports. We treat it like a coach would on the court or on the field, in that if students are not reading, writing, thinking, and discussing 95% of the time, what is a teacher observing, processing, and providing feedback on? In most schools and classrooms across the country, the teacher is outworking the student. The student is listening or copying. Well, the teacher is doing most of the work. We flip that like a coach would. So our students are performing constantly through a variety of different strategies that we teach, so that our teacher has something to observe, process, and give feedback on. Because without that feedback, how do they know they learned it? It was taught,
Right.
but did they learn it? And so we flipped that model.
So when you went into Fair Park, did you work with the existing teachers you had there, or did you clean house?
I think we had about a quarter stayed. So usually, traditionally since 2005 when we partner and go and do turnaround work, usually a third doesn't want to stay, and then two-thirds do, and usually a third makes it. I've been for the last 3 weeks doing interviews with Linwood. I can tell you right now, over 60% of the teachers there we've offered contracts to. But we have an intense training protocol. So every teacher is going to get 9 days of professional development before the first day of school. That's everybody. We also offer summer school opportunities for a month so that new teachers can come in and teach summer school, make $6,000 for summer school, and then we train them up during those 4 weeks. So we've got our standard operating procedure so we can come in and make sure the first day is a great day. We're not waiting to get up to speed. We're running at top speed day one.
The other thing is, in looking at teaching and getting the best teachers, I think y'all offer a very significant different contract.
We do.
As far as cost and how much you pay the teachers. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I believe the average salary for a Caddo and our average salary, we're about $15,000 higher. And it's part of the structure of our network. We're very lean. We're very, very lean at the network level, so we can push dollars down to the schools. And also, two parts. We know that when you're turning around an underperforming school, I need to hire the best. You need the best. And second, we fundamentally believe as a network that the education profession is underpaid. And so we want to give people a livable wage. I do not want our staff they can choose. I don't want to have to be an Uber driver or a Lyft driver to make ends meet. I want to offer them a good livable wage for them and their families. And so that's what we try and do, and we really work closely with our CFO and our Chief of Staff on budgeting appropriately.
Tell us a little bit about how things are going at Linwood. It's something, I know you've been working on diligently for a while. How is all that, change is difficult, change is hard, and I know there's a lot of changes going on. How have you found that working at Linwood?
So Linwood, we just were approved about a month ago from Bessie for the Type 5. No problem. So Dr. Staunton Jennings, their CEO, pleasure to work with and met with him several times. Gardwait is the board president, had conversations with him as well. So that is actually progressing very, very well. Like I said earlier, I think we've offered about 60% of their current staff contracts. And so that's been good. That's higher. That's the highest percentage it's ever been in any partnership we've had. The senior leadership team has been a pleasure to work with. They're providing all the necessary information for a good transition. We'll be able to get in the building after June 30th, and we'll reconfigure some of the classrooms to set it up for our model. Teachers will return July 22nd, and we'll have our first day of school August 4th. So it's been a pleasure.
How do you explain to parents, who have had their children at the school and suddenly you're coming in and it's different? I bet they have lots of questions.
Some, really, so we never change the school colors, the mascot. We don't change the history. So all that's going to stay the same. We've never done that. The only thing that'll change is the hours. We're open from 6:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., free before and after school care. So that'll change. That's a good thing. Second is we run 184 school days. So we'll go 2 weeks before Caddo starts and 2 weeks after they get out. That's a good thing. We offer free summer school, 7 to 4 for a month. Full day, 7 to 4 a.m. for 20 school days. That's a good thing. The only thing that changes is from 8 to 4, the instructional model. That's it. The teaching, just the quality of instruction, the TFS model, we call them TFS ready characteristics. That's the only real change. Other than that, most everything stays the same. We're going to do parent-teacher conferences. We'll be open full day on Friday. Right now, Linwood does a half day. We don't do half days. We're open full day. And we never close for inclement weather.
Why?
We never have. Because we've made that promise to our communities, because our parents have to go to work. Maybe they're hourly workers, and if they don't work, they don't get paid. We have, since 2017, we've never closed for anything in Colorado. Blizzards, snow, we never have. The only way we close our building is if we didn't have power and I can't run power because fire marshal and fire code. If my exit lights go out, we break fire code. Other than that, we'll be there. Now, we have a place, a warm place with food that kids can come if parents feel it's safe to transport their student. So if they need to get to work, we want them to know they're taken care of.
Also, you talk about preschool. Talk a little bit about preschool and after school, because there's a significant length of time for which students are taken care of.
Sure. Yeah, our doors are open at 6:30, and so the parents need to get to work early. They can drop their students off. The school days from 8 to 4, but obviously the kids can have breakfast in the morning. Some of our young kids, they may take like a 30-minute nap in the team center. That's fine. They can get on a computer. They can do educational games that are appropriate, read a book, finish up homework, talk quietly in the cafeteria. But what I know from experience and doing this for the past 28 years is that every family is different and every family has different needs. We want to make sure that our families and mom and dads, grandma, grandpas, they feel safe. They know their child is safe if they need to drop them off and get to work or some other appointment, and we're there for them.
Yeah. Tell us about the mission of the school, what you see of the mission in the community with the turnaround in school. You'll be managing a lot of kids in Caddo Parish, and it's a great responsibility. And how you look at our community.
Well, number one, we need to provide a service. We think we're essential workers. We at Third Future, part of our mission is that we're essential. Well, we may not be doctors or police or firemen or military, but we think we're right below that. And we learned that during the pandemic and COVID-19. That educational institutions shut down, and that was a disservice to community and to public service. And so we know we need to partner well with the Shreveport community. We're going to do that, continue to do that with Fair Park. We're going to build those relationships with Linwood. And the biggest thing, our mission is to close that achievement gap, which exists, and how the state defines, successful schools is not my job. That's how the state does it. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get them out of F status and give them the best education that they've had. That's our goal.
One of the things that we've noticed, and I think this is countrywide, and I want to know how you're going to deal with it here, is the truancy issue. Not just the kids, but teachers. Not getting there to work. And
we don't have that problem for long, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
And the parents not getting the kids there. When you're talking about little kids who can't drive and get,
Yeah, that's a parent issue. So let me talk with staff, then I'll talk with student. So with number one, our interview process is very rigorous, and this is the exact words that I tell staff, every staff member that I interview. There are harder jobs out there. There are harder jobs in the world and in this country than being a teacher. But there's no harder job in education than turning around a school. Those are the exact words I tell them, and I follow up with, are you on board to do that? And if there's any hesitation or reservation, then we're not the fit for them. And so the education field is a profession. They're professionals, and I expect to be on time and to be prepared, and we're going to treat them as such. We pay well, but to whom much is given, much is expected. And I need them to be their best 184 school days. That's how many contact days we have. Now, with parents and students, you have to have engaging school, and our instructional model is engaging. We offer not only electives, but what we have is dyad classes. It's called our dyad concept, where I'll bring in professionals from the community, such as martial arts, photography, barbershop, cosmetology. We'll pay them $30 an hour to provide those other opportunities for our kids that may not be able to get on their own. And then lastly is that in Third Future, we do not do social promotion. So social promotions mean you're just promoted to the next grade.
Right.
If a student misses 29 days or more, it is required for them to go to summer school to be promoted. All grades. All grades. And so that's social promotion is not a best practice, and we have not done that since the inception of Third Future Schools.
Listen, this has been a great conversation. Learned a whole lot about Third Future Schools and what you're doing in our community. Appreciate the fact that you're coming into our community to turn around schools that maybe have had difficulties, and schools that maybe are going up and just need a little boost too. So This has really been a great conversation.
Thank you both for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to all of you for joining us for Education Checkup. You can view our other podcasts anywhere you listen to them or go to our website at kbs.com/podcast. Have a good day and join us next time for Education Checkup.